everyone says we need more power and we need better infrastructure to
Heard
meet the
that.
demand. That is
Heard
certainly the
that.
narrative that, speaking of narratives, right? And yet the cheapest way to do this would be nuclear. But
It's
people don't want to live
fraught.
next to nuclear, right?
We will be going into nuclear soon, but things are going to have to get really bad to
So
convince
President
people.
Trump is always touting the strength of our nuclear submarine fleet. He says it goes anywhere. It's amazing what we can do with these submarines. You know, we have many, many, many nuclear subs in many, many, many sea stations around the country. We have sailors that live within 5 to 10 feet proximity, 6 months to a year and a half at a time. And they have towns that are built around these stations. It's not a secret where they are in the country. And yet you have already towns living with nuclear submarines run by the Navy. And yet we won't let civil engineers build nuclear power across the country. So if it's in a sub, but I can't see it underwater, I'm okay living in a town. And these are big towns. These are not small towns.
I know, it's ridiculous. Remember
It's
Groton,
a little crazy, right?
Was
Like
it, was
we're
it Groton,
really
was it Groton, Connecticut that had it?
Groton, and there's
I knew
towns on the
a friend of
West
mine grew
Coast
up
and
there.
so on.
I knew someone that
That's right.
grew up
There's
there.
towns on the West Coast that have almost any major port, I would imagine, has we know where these folks are stationed. It just seems to me that if we can trust the Navy with these nuclear subs, what does it say about the population and our trust of civilian controlled? And maybe we give the Navy more leeway to build things for civilian use, because it's obvious people trust that if you can live near these subs and be totally safe. No one is not buying a home in Groton, Connecticut because of the nuclear submarines. I think that's a thesis that people need to unpack.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that. My father was an iron worker. He worked on Indian Point. We lived, I want to say, like 5 miles from Indian Point.
Right.
It's in a town called Verplank outside of Peekskill, New York. I grew up in Yorktown Heights, right there. And my dad, I remember he actually got Geiger counter readers, because you know what you do when you build these plants, you put the nuclear thing in there. I think that you house the nuclear, I guess not the waste, but the power generating. There's nuclear power in there first before they start, and then you build the dome around it, which is very thick concrete. My dad was an iron worker. He put in the iron. And people live, they still live, they lived there for generations. I don't remember people saying, oh, my house costs less because I live near nuclear Indian Point. It never really was, By the way, there was this pond, as I remember, near the plant that was runoff from the Hudson River, because it's right on the Hudson River. That was really clear and really warm. And I remember, I never swam it. I remember people used to swim in there because it was really clear and really warm. I dodged that bullet, by the way.